What are we? What makes us what we are? And what we're going to be? I think it's that right there. It's grit. It's grit. It's grit.
And we're back. 14-2, boys. How we feeling? Clay?
What's up, Lions fans?
Adrian?
Oh,
We're here.
14-2. Let's say that again, man. 14-2.
14 wins.
It's unbelievable. Wow. It's unbelievable. But yet, it doesn't matter, boys. Because it all comes down to this Sunday. At what time? Prime time. 8:20 in the evening.
8 o'clock. Sunday night football.
Now, if I were to tell you at the beginning of the year, Lions are going to go 14-2. What goes through your mind? Where are we at?
1 seed.
Yep,
One
for
seed
sure. Locked up 2 weeks ago.
1 seed. Everybody's healthy. Best time of my life.
Goff MVP, hands down.
Yep. You're thinking Minnesota and Green Bay ate each other alive, so they're like 9 and what do we got? 18 games now, so 9-9.
Jordan Love is hurt.
10-8. No, so we have the Minnesota Vikings at 14-2. So thus leading to a winner take all bye week, first seed, division. I mean, this game. The guys bumped this game to 8 o'clock, like as soon as Minnesota clinched that game against Packers.
Yeah.
You knew it was coming.
It was like, I was watching the schedule lineup, and it's like, all right, the 1 o'clock games, and then the 4 o'clock games. I'm like, ooh, I wonder if we're – and, yep, sure enough, they put it out there. So
it was like I work with a guy that had bought tickets for this Minnesota game and Lions in Ford Field since the beginning of the season. And, last week, going into this week, he was like, yeah, dude, we still don't know what time it's at, but no matter what time it is, I'm going to be there. And so early morning on Monday, he's like, dude, they moved us to prime time. Being a ticket holder, he knew right away before it came out on ESPN and stuff.
Wow.
So before all this, right, the beginning of the season, that ticket was probably around average, I would say, so maybe $250, right? $250 a ticket. Mm-hmm. I'm just going by average because every ticket that I looked up this year was pretty much $250 for an entry level ticket.
Pretty much what I paid for Chicago. Yeah,
right. For both you and your wife to go.
Right.
Exactly. So,
wow.
What do you think those? I mean, that would be my thing. Is like as much as I want to go to that game. That those tickets, bro, they could be. You could probably get $1,500 for those two tickets.
It's a I think it's playoff game prices. I would imagine it has to be. It's a playoff game.
Okay, this is my take. Like, I feel like this Minnesota game is a little more valuable than a wild card game. Like, if we're comparing playoff games,
yeah,
it almost feels more hype, more important. Then it would be, okay, next stage, we're already in a wild card game and we're playing whoever. It just feels like a movie, like everybody's watching this one game to see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
And more than that, it's your rival. Like I don't like the way Minnesota fans have handled themselves this whole season. The things that they've said all year about the Lions. And they've just been hating on us, man, out of nowhere.
Yeah. This is Adrian when he walks. This is Adrian when he walks in the football game on Sunday. Minnesota Viking fan.
Then you got TJ Hawkinson, saying whatever. He's on the other side. And
wait, what did he say?
He's just saying stuff.
He's been talking ever since he got traded. Oh, I finally could get to do something. Oh, this is nice. This is nice.
Yeah. What are you gonna do? All right, boys. So I just looked it up. So if you want to go there on Sunday night and stand, you can pay $410. That's a standing room only. So you want to take your wife out, you're paying $820, and that doesn't include all the hiking.
Oh my goodness.
$820 to stand.
But I remember paying $30 for those standing room tickets.
Yep.
So let's see. Oh yeah, there's still some seats here. Let's go down to 127. They're the visitors. Let's go about halfway up, right off the 50. Oh yeah, you're $1,000 a ticket plus fees.
Yeah.
So you're at $2,000 if you want to get 50 about 50-yard line, about
that's crazy, man.
Rows up. So anyway, that would be my challenge if I had those tickets. I'd be like, I could sure buy a lot of T-bone steak.
You know what? After just going to the Chicago game, sometimes like it's better to watch it on TV. Like my friends that just went to San Francisco, they went and had a good time, but they missed so much from the game that they're like, what are you talking about? Like the whole Jake Bates thing, he was doing the stretch. Right. They had no idea what that was about until I explained it to them. Like, on the broadcast, everyone else in America.
Well, imagine if you're Jake Bates, you don't even know what's going on until you get in the locker room, and you get in the locker room and you're like, your cell phone is blew up with.
You're a meme. You're a straight up meme. So they did have some audio from when Jake Bates was walking. Did you guys hear that? When he was walking into the locker room right afterward. And so somebody showed him his phone, and he was like,
No. Calm down.
Poor guy. Like, he's just like
worst nightmare.
His hip hurts, and then everybody else.
Right.
Because
it was after he missed the extra point?
No, it was before.
It was before it?
It was like third quarter sometime.
Yeah, when he missed the extra point, I was like, oh well, we already won. At that point, we already won the game, so it is what it is. So you guys want to talk about the game a little bit before we get over into the big game coming up?
I think.
All right, so go ahead, Adrian, take it.
I mean, I was hoping we could just get all of our practice, all of our bricks, like in basketball, you shoot around in the beginning, try to get those bricks out of your system. That's kind of what I wanted for this game. I wanted just all those errors, the mental errors, the miscommunications on defense, just like get it out, even if we lost, so that this next game against Minnesota, we could be ready. Recently in an interview, Levi Onwuzurike, he was just mentioning how there's just been, so many people shifting on defense, obviously with the injuries. He's like, these next two games will tell us how we can perform in the playoffs. So that told me that there's a lot of testing going on. There's a lot of trial and error that maybe they're trying with different players at different points in the defense that they tried this last game against the Bears, and then this past Sunday or Monday against the Niners. And even then, they were able to, get some takeaways. So I'm super happy with the turnout and the fact that the offense was on full cylinders, even though they didn't need to be.
What's your take on the defense, Clay?
I agree with that, because even we watched it with some friends, and we were just like, are they even trying? Like, is this like they just drop back in zone and just was there for the tackle? And then, but then we got home, and then, of course, I needed to watch some more of it. So I was watching it, and I'm like, this kind of feels like a preseason. Like Adrian said, it feels like a preseason game with the defense. Like they're just testing stuff. Like exactly what Adrian said. Like it's like we're against a number one offense, and then our defense are just toying with it the whole time. But like you said too, like getting the Branch had a undisciplined error, which got paid off later that drive, but right away by Kirby. Every time somebody made a mistake, Kirby bailed us out. But you got to get those mental errors out before the Sunday and before postseason. You can't survive that in the postseason.
Speaking of those mental errors, what's up with the backstory with Juwan Jennings, dude? It looked like the whole defense had some kind of
vendetta.
Yeah, some kind of vendetta against Juwan Jennings. Like every time he got the ball, it didn't matter who it was, they were gonna hit him as hard as they could. Yep.
Does that go back to that play in the back of the end zone where he just?
Yeah, no, it was even before then. Like him and Amik were
Really?
going back and forth, and then it spilled over between him and Terrion. They had the scuffle, and everybody saw that. But then the rest of the game, like whenever he had the ball in his hands, whenever someone had a chance, they were hitting him as hard as they could.
Because I know Fred Warner says himself, but I couldn't find anything on that either. Because I'm like, man, why are they? Man, they're taking something. Something happened. 'Cause something got set on the field. Like something had been set on the field.
Yeah.
And I still think when Branch hit the dude, that dude said something to Branch, and then Branch, they always get the second guy.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure, Branch. Yeah. As soon as Branch, what did he do? Did he slap him across the face or push his shoulders back into the ground or something?
Yeah, he pushed it. But the other guy, there was a slap in the end zone. That whole scuffle.
Yeah.
I'm surprised. I honestly am surprised Terrion didn't get thrown out for that because that almost looked like a punch.
Yeah.
I don't think the ref saw it, but we saw it. But I was like, oh. I mean, he was already pushing the guy, over in the bleachers, like in the seats. And he comes up and just smacks him. Like, yeah.
I don't know if you guys noticed, but they pushed him on top of a guy in a wheelchair. It was just like they had no regard for no regard who's involved. They were just like going at it.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Lions are taking over, man.
I will say, like, it's been kind of a pattern this whole season. So I'm kind of prepared for it to continue into the playoffs. Like these guys are juiced and they want it really bad. And that spills over into their emotions quite frequently.
Yeah.
So just be prepared. There's going to be some kind of call next couple weeks and it's going to hurt, but it's kind of who they are,
That's right. Hey, Ethan, jeez. Hey, Adrian, do you know who else wants it really bad? Our sponsor this week.
A home DIY project can be riskier than going for it on 4th and 20. Save your time. Save your pride. Have an insured professional from 616 Craftworks handle that Pinterest project, furniture assembly, or home repair for you. If you live in the West Michigan area, call Ethan today at 616-540-1847. Spend more time yelling at bad calls and less time putting off that to-do list. Call Ethan at 616 Craftworks today.
All right, Ethan, you're going to get lots of calls.
Shout out to Ethan.
You're going to have a lot of phone calls coming through, brother. So, boys, can I take this next minute and tell the All Gritt podcast about our upcoming month fundraiser?
Ooh, I'm excited for this. Yeah, let's go.
All right. Undivided attention here, boys. All right, the All Gritt podcast listeners, this is your humble host, Caleb, joined alongside the offensive coordinator and the statistician. And the month of January, we're going to be holding our first annual fundraiser for the All Gritt podcast. How do you enter, you might be asking? Every $10 donated to the All Gritt podcast PayPal account starting today at midnight gives you one raffle ticket that immediately goes into the All Gritt podcast jar. For instance, you donate $30, you're getting 3 tickets dropped in that jar. You want to donate $50, you're getting 5 raffle tickets dropped in that jar, and so on. At the end of the month of January and live on this podcast, all raffle tickets get shuffled and one is drawn. If you are selected, you're going to receive some awesome gifts. You ready with the sounder, Adrian?
I lost it.
I think that means he's ready. Let's go. Number 1, you're going to receive a special on-air invite to join this podcast for an episode of your choice.
Ooh.
You're going to be live with the crew. You're going to be live with the crew. Number 2, you're going to have your choice between some nice All Gritt podcast merch that you see all of us wearing, or a bottle of bourbon of your choice provided by the All Gritt podcast crew. And I think I read that wrong. It's not of your choice; it's of our choice.
I was gonna say, like, bro, this is getting expensive.
Quick.
So yeah, I read that backwards. So we're gonna pick the bottle. You can pick the merch. How about that?
All right. There
All
you go.
right. Number 3, you're going to get a free sponsorship or a shout out for that episode that you're joining us with. So if you have
Okay.
some business that you want to talk about, some marketing, say your spouse has a business, you're going to rep that business right here so all of our loyal listeners can hear about your business. Number
I like
4.
it. Oh,
And yeah, we're going to keep
oh,
going,
it
bro.
ended there.
This don't
Wow.
stop. This don't stop. Adrian says he's volunteering a $25 gift card to Starbucks. Let's go. There it is. Live on YouTube.
You
It's
can
sitting in
buy
his pocket.
you can buy Dan Campbell his 2 venti shots with a double.
It always comes back to the Lions on the All Grit podcast. And last but not least, I don't know, Clay, you got anything else to add?
I'm sure there's more.
Okay, I'm sure too. We might even add more, but I got the 5th thing. Last but certainly not least, you're going to know the peace of mind of knowing you're helping the All Grit podcast pay these bills, thus keeping you entertained weekly. Again, the entire month of January, the All Grit podcast will be holding its first annual fundraiser. All donations that come during the month of January, starting tonight when that ball drops and hits 12, and it's 1 second after that, is when we start collecting those funds, and you will be entered in to win that jackpot.
Hey, I
And,
got
and
some-
as always,
And I
go
got
ahead.
something to add.
Clay's got something else to add to it.
Some Johnny almonds, man. Cinnamon roasted Johnny almonds.
Bro, I'll take some of those. Let's
So whatever you want,
go.
they'll be included too. So I'll throw whatever your favorite flavor is. We'll hook you guys up.
So what kind of bag is that?
That's a cone bag, 4 ounce.
Cone bag? Okay.
Yeah. But it's a pack of 12, so whatever you want. Pack of 12.
Ooh, I like it. All right, we'll add that to the 6th thing. And then, as always, a special thanks from the All Grit podcast team. And as always, go Lions.
Go Lions.
All right, so we will keep that. We'll keep you listeners up to date with that January fundraiser. So
I think I might.
let's get back to business, boys. Enough fun. Let's go to our bold takes. We want to do bold takes. Or we want to talk about offense.
Let's talk about offense.
Yeah, let's talk
Let's do
about
it.
offense.
Go ahead. You want to talk about offensive players here? Break it.
I want to start off with a very Craig Reynolds. The use of Craig Reynolds yesterday was very, very smart, very quiet.
Yeah.
He had 7 rushes for 31 yards, and 2 for 2 on catches. I don't think he had any drops for 35 yards. So the way they used him, just sprinkled them in right where they needed to. Doesn't sound like a lot, but when you're watching the game live, like there was he came up pretty clutch in a lot of those drives that really kept the drive going and kept the momentum up. So with Montgomery out, I think that he's definitely warming up Reynolds for whenever they need him. So
Yep.
I was going to add to that. It's not only like the use, but I felt like Craig was just taking advantage as much as he could out of every single opportunity he got. If it was, if it was shotgun and he was protecting Goff, he was setting up a good block. If it was running the ball, he was being patient. I texted you guys, like, I loved how he would just wait for a minute, wait for the blocks to get set up, and then he would go and he'd get, 5-6 yards, which is more than what we need on a first down. Or if it was, catching out of the backfield, he was, like you said, helping Goff in situations get a first down. I loved the way Craig approached this game and just took advantage of everything that he could. He did awesome.
Bro, when you text us that, I was literally yelling at Chas going, do you see how patient he is behind his blockers? And immediately after that, you send me something and talk about Le'Veon Bell, who in our generation is one of the most patient running backs, and that's why he's so successful. It's not about how fast you can get up there. You got to let the offensive line get to their blocks, and you got to let the linebackers, kind of decide which way they're going to go, and then you go the opposite way. And his patience was just like, it was undeniable.
Yep.
And which is really nice to see, because even Gibbs, he shoots through that hole, and his patience isn't there. He's all speed, and so to see that patience was interesting. It was mind blowing to see it.
Yeah, it was like a change of pace.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like that's what you
Good
want
way to put
to
it.
keep a defense on their toes. Yeah.
Good call.
And one other player that deserves a shout out is he only had one catch, but it was for 21 yards, and it was Allen Robinson.
Oh,
Yeah. It was
and
clutch.
it
And
was
I-
not an easy catch.
Yeah, and I thought it was
No.
JMO at first because I like the way he like ran the route, and I'm like, oh, nice catch, JMO, and then I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it was cool seeing him come out big too.
I loved it. Yeah.
What is that?
It was
Is
on
that
a
his
crucial first
third
down,
catch of the year?
Yeah, something like that.
something like that. Yeah. That was nice to
Second or
see.
third catch of the year. Yeah, just enough to keep him in there and throw the defense off. They're not expecting. Who's this Robinson dude? He's what, fourth string wide receiver, and just catches a nice over the top ball. How about? Did you see that one going back to Adrian's point about running back or Clay's point? But can't remember what play it was, but Jahmyr Gibbs held in for a block.
Oh,
Where
yeah.
the
He put the
defensive,
shoulder in?
I don't know, he put his shoulder right
Yep.
into, and that's when Nelly came out because his
Yep,
helmet shoulder actually went in and cut his eye through his helmet. But if it weren't for that block, that play is blown up. I mean, Jared Goff is just getting slammed.
Yep.
But what, I mean, you always think of Monty, right, taking these
Mhm.
blocks, but that's just another part of Gibbs' game that is just
And it's
coming around.
grown. Because last year it was rough his rookie season, and this year he's been so
Yep.
good at blocking.
He's taking them.
It's been awesome.
His top speed, I still don't think we've ever seen his top speed, but when he gets cooking, man, he is so fast.
Wow. I can't wait to see the miles per hour on that run and then J-Mo's reverse.
Oh, yeah.
And compare those two because they were both hitting the burners on it.
Yeah.
Did St. Brown trip? I kept on trying to rewind it and see if St. Brown
Yeah.
tripped or was he
yeah.
just, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So here's, us Lions fans, old Lions fans that have been through it. I couldn't help but think of when Amon-Ra was going down and his knee, his shin was down, and all it would have taken was for a San Francisco, because that defender was on him, was just to touch his foot with his foot. And I was waiting for them to take that touchdown back because of that, bro. If you slow that tape down, Amon-Ra, he's basically down. So I don't know if there was a San Francisco guy that touched him or not, but that would be interesting to go back and like really, really slow that down because it was close.
Yeah.
And that play would have been blown up because his knee was down.
Yeah.
So
Another play was close was that was the kick return, the fumble. Man, like it wasn't a dog pile, so he had to got touched. But I was like, man, it's not a fumble. And then I'm like, whoa, that ball is out. I'm so glad that somebody touched it.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. That was tough. But I felt like the offense put themselves in some really tough situations this game. There was a lot of long third downs, long second downs that we're really just not accustomed to. And somehow, man, they were just pulling it out of nowhere. They would figure it out and get a first down, even if it was a 3rd and 12, 3rd and 15, 3rd and 8. So they showed me a new part of the offense of what they can do, which was nice to see. And Jameson Williams, we've always known he's amazing, but he has really come to it lately with his chemistry with Goff.
Yep.
His chemistry with Goff, you could tell it wasn't really there early in the season and before then. But lately they have gotten hot at the perfect time right before playoffs. So, I'm expecting him to have a good game against Minnesota on Sunday and the rest of the playoffs.
And going with what you said about Goff too, the chemistry. I think this was a huge game for Goff and Laporta both. They just seemed to be on the same page, just throwing the ball to Laporta, get him fired up before the playoffs, get that connection rolling.
Yeah.
Just sharing the ball, man, with these guys, and just getting these guys locked in.
yeah, I'll go back to JMO too, and it's just like, you go back the past 3 years, and it's been Amon-Ra leading everything, and he still is. But these last 2 games, JMO's stats are better than Amon-Ra's, and it's clear. It's clear that either the defense is trying to shut down, Amon-Ra more, and so maybe JMO's got more,
like overcommitting
a little bit, sending that safety his way, but they're realizing you send a safety Amon-Ra's way, and you're gonna get blown up. Blown up. So it's so awesome having a two-headed wide receiver monster like that. Because we've never seen it. We've always had, the Herman Moore and then like the B player like a Johnny Morton or the Calvin Johnson and the B player of input Golden Tate. I mean, I love Golden Tate, don't get me wrong, but like, this caliber wide receiver is it's better.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they're just having fun. Like we were watching the game last night, and I literally just said, I was like, I just feel if Calvin was on a team like this, like Calvin would have so much fun.
Yeah.
Like I'm not saying Calvin didn't have fun, but I don't think he had a ton of fun. But he would have fun, man.
Calvin.
Let's pour one out.
But you look at JMO. You look at JMO after the game, and he's talking. The dude's a baby, dude. The kid's so young. Kind of it makes you think. Like I know he's made some dumb errors this year, but he's young. He'll learn. But he's doing great.
Yeah.
Speaking of learning, great segue, Clay. We're gonna learn about these bold takes that we just made because I feel like we're not getting the true purpose of this game. The purpose of this game is to actually get bold takes and score, and then one of us is gonna owe the other one's beer. So let's go do it. You got something to say, bro?
No, I'm just saying it's tough to make these bold takes and get on it, man.
Not everybody can be like you. So the leaderboard as of today, Adrian has 1, and Plax, Caleb, and Clay have 0. So just so everyone knows.
I thought you had 1, Caleb.
Close. No. It was very close. I think.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. All right. So Adrian, if our listeners can remember, Adrian was cocky this week. He came off scoring last week, and he goes, "Here's what's going to happen, boys. Agent Zero, right? Is that what you called him? Agent Zero is going to get a pick, his first pick of the year. How'd that work out?
He played great, though. No PIs.
I know, dude. Well, he kind of gave up that long, deep ball, but yeah. Other than that, right?
Sorry, we got to side note this. I got to address this. Have you guys noticed the last 4 games, every time a team plays the 3 wide receiver set, it's a long play? Like, we got to figure it out, guys. Like, I know we do man on it. Like, that's what killed us on that first down against Buffalo. Last night, it was that long throw to Ricky Pearsall on that same 3 wide receiver set where they're weaving, and then the guys get confused on the secondary. Like, I'm sure everybody's looking at it on tape. Minnesota's looking at it to do some 3 wide receiver sets, and just one guy's going to be open if we don't figure that out always.
Right.
On that.
And I was hearing some coaching talking about that and where the Lions line up defensively on that.
Yeah.
And it's almost like they're lining up too close to the wide receivers. Like if they backed up a little bit and gave them time to then get into their, whether it's going to be an X, Y, or Z, right?
Yeah.
And then that tells that because even though they're lined up on man right there, that doesn't necessarily mean that the outside receiver comes in right away. That's still not the defensive back's receiver. He's going to allow the inside corner to take him, and he's going to take the outside. So just because you're playing man does not mean that you're sticking that man the entire play.
Right.
You're still playing the outside, middle, or inside receiver, depending on where you're standing on defense. Mm-hmm. So if you're back off too far, it's good because you allow them to show their hand a little bit. Mm-hmm. If you're too close, then you get that jumbled where everyone's kind of just going and they're basically self-picking you.
Yeah.
However, if you do move back, what does that open up? That opens up them to throw a fast,
soft,
and then you got 2 wide receivers blocking. So it's kind of like
it's tricky.
6 one way, half a dozen the other, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's the All Gritt Podcast deep take. All right, Clay. Clay had the Packers beat the Vikings, and we're all gonna beat the, of course, San Francisco 49ers, and then we're all going to go out and buy NFC gear
For the game.
Thanks, Green Bay. I mean, we did our part.
Thanks a lot, Green Bay.
You know what?
God.
For the All Grit podcast listeners, I bought a cheese hat on Amazon. I know you're probably saying, boo. But I did. I said, I'm gonna wear this hat. This is how much this game means to me. So I wore it off and on throughout the game, blah, 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 supporting the Packers. We did the whole go, Pack, go. We did the whole chant. We did everything. And you want to know what? As soon as they lost, I went on Amazon. I said, I'm going to return this hat. Do you know what Amazon said to me? And I'm not kidding you.
No. Calm down.
I think I should just read it verbatim because I don't think you guys are going
And
to
then
believe
Caleb
me.
was like,
No. Calm down.
so now you're stuck with trash.
Bro, no. Even better. Exactly. So I said, yes, I want to return this. It didn't work, blah, blah, blah.
It didn't work. They didn't beat Minnesota, so I'm going to return it.
Yep. So I'm going to read you what they said to me. They said, we are
skull.
They said, we are processing your refund. You don't need to return the item back to us. Thank you.
What?
They basically paid me to keep that piece of crap.
Look, we don't want it either.
They didn't want it.
We don't want that trash back. Get rid of it.
Oh my god, I could not believe it. So now it's a dog chew toy until
Just take it behind the shed.
But it is 0-1 as Green Bay, so man, keep it, man. That's
I know we might want to wear that come playoffs.
right.
Love it. All right, Caleb said Brock Wright, tutty.
Oh, close. Close.
Yeah,
And I said
that was a
close
bit-
because there was a touchdown where he was wide open, but he threw it to Laporta, I think.
Yep, that's what you call wrong white tight end. All right. All right, boys. Well, let's get into it. So this coming Sunday night, 8:00. You know the kickoff won't be till like 8:20, but anyways, Sunday night football, winner take all.
The
Winner take all.
season culminates
They take
with
division.
one time.
They take the number one seed. They take all bragging rights of the North. What say you for your bold take this Sunday night in Ford Field?
Ford Field.
Clay, start us off.
I have. So shout out to everybody who's got 1,000 yards on our team right now. And that's Gibbs, Monty, J-Mo, and St. Brown. Monty's not going to be ready, but I think Gibbs, J-Mo, and St. Brown each will have a tutty because they're amazing.
Wow.
Okay, Vildor.
Gibbs touchdown. Who else?
Gibbs, J-Mo, and St. Brown each will have a touchdown.
All right, so you're going with like a parlay type of hot.
Parlay, yeah. It's a little parlay.
Wow, that does sound like a Vildor score. 52-7. All right,
I got to make it interesting, so.
That's bold, baby.
I like it. I like it. All right, so for my hot take, bold take, I'm going to go along with Clay's little parlay thing. I'm going to do a couple ones. So we've got Kirby Joseph is going to get one more interception for the regular season to make it an even 10. He's going to get another one and make it an even 10. And on top of that, you're going to have Zadarius Smith get a sack on his old team.
Ooh.
And on top of that,
he's going with the 3-leg.
we're going to get a peanut punch and we're going to get a fumble recovery.
My God, now that is bold. Clay, you might have to add something, bro. I don't know.
I know. I thought I was stretching it, but I guess not.
Yeah. So Clay's would be like plus 600 and Adrian's would be like plus 2,000.
You're a rich man, bro. Rich man.
All right. That's bold. Let me think about this. I haven't even thought about it yet. So we're playing Sunday night.
Yeah.
So
Got Brian Flores and his
all
crazy
right.
defense.
So you know what? We kind of own Brian Flores' defense. There's something
Jared
about
Goff does.
Jared Goff and just
Mhm.
beating that defense. He knows where to throw the ball. He knows where the weak points are in that defense.
He's not
And that's
scared of
that's
those zero blitzes. Yeah.
right. So with that being said, I'm gonna do an old Chicago Bear bold take.
Whoa, bear
I'm
down.
not gonna All right. So do you remember back in 2000 and what was that? The Monday Night Football game? Javid Best
Oh yeah.
ran that 80 yard running run for a touchdown. Where were you? I was in West Virginia actually when that game was going on. But anyways, I'm gonna say two false starts by the Bears
Whoa. Okay.
caused by the Lions ruckus.
The crowd. Yeah,
Okay?
the ruckus.
I'm not gonna give them 5 false starts, but I'll give them 2 false starts.
Nice.
I'm gonna give us so. Correct me if I'm wrong. The Lions have never this season gotten 1 defensive pass interference.
Oh, you're right.
I believe that is the stat that we have
You're
0.
right. We have
Yeah.
0.
And they're like, how, this offense is this good and they haven't even gotten any pass interference. I'm going to call 1 pass interference finally on the defense of Minnesota, meaning, he's going to throw the ball up deep to JMO and finally we're going to get a whack.
Oh.
It's going to be a penalty parlay. This is my penalty parlay, bro. We got 2 false starts.
Nice.
We got 1 pass interference on the defense. And if I were to throw a 3-leg in there for a penalty, it would be unsportsmanlike conduct.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
One
Love to see it.
And you know what? I'm not going to say whether it's on the Lions or the Minnesota, but you get one of them.
I'll give it to you.
2,000. Give me $1 right now. I'm turning it into $2,000 real quick. All right. That's it.
So
What
do
do
you
we
guys
think?
feel nervous? Like, how y'all feel about it, man? Like
I'm
like jittery, excited, nervous.
Yeah. It's a whole package. Like it's what the coach said, man, they're built for this. I think they're preparing for this all year. It's a playoff game. I think that's what they're going to mentally. I think I'm more nervous for this game than I was for the Tampa Bay playoff game last year. I think going to Tampa, I was like, man, Tampa home, we got this, man. This one I'm like, it's still scary.
Yeah, but that Tampa Bay game had more weight because
Yeah.
it's winner go home.
Yeah.
This is not winner go home, so it can't have that
That's
much
the
weight
beauty
in
of
my.
it.
Yeah.
That is the beauty of it.
And we're great on the road. We are 8-0, fellas, on the road this year. 8-0. We want that. We want the bye week. Don't get me wrong. I want it. But 8-0 on the road. That's pretty.
Yeah.
Let's throw
I
some
was
stats
thinking
out
that
there.
too. That
So-
even if
Go
we
ahead.
lose, like we go on the road, we have been undefeated on the road. There's something about, playing out of town or being in the white uniform, something that these
We travel,
guys
man.
play
Our fans
hard.
travel. People are
Yeah.
getting false starts in their own stadium.
Exactly. I think that has to do a lot with it. Like the home team's kind of thrown off with our fan base, how much they take over, that it's like not home field advantage as they're used to, and that throws them off. They're not prepared
And that
to do a
stadium
final
last
count.
night was empty. All I saw was blue.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny,
Yep.
dude. Like you're right. Even though they have red seats to make it look like everyone's there, but like if you looked hard there was rows of bleachers, even like first quarter that were not filled.
Yeah.
So yeah, Detroit, another takeover, we could say for sure.
Mm-hmm.
No, just a couple stats here. Clay mentioned a couple just to think about for the upcoming day or upcoming week. 8-0 on the road. Jared Goff joins Tom Brady as the only quarterback in NFL history to log a completion percentage of 75% in 8 games in a season.
Wow.
So those of you who are not hardcore Lions fans, I mean, or football fans, 75% is astronomical to throw. Right, every 4 balls you're completing 3 of them, and that's over 8 games.
Yeah.
I mean, that is just it's fantastic.
Yeah.
So
That has
Jared Goff.
I think it's 50-50. Like that has to do a lot with Jared Goff and his precision. Like, man, he was slinging darts yesterday. It was beautiful to see. But it also has to do with, someone like Amon-Ra St. Brown that just has glue in his gloves, man. He will catch anything you throw to him. And that's
0
what Goff
drops.
on the other wide receivers. Yeah, 0 drops. So
That's
it's like
another
plays
stat.
both sides to be successful with all those catches.
With 130 targets, I believe the stat was 0
Yeah.
drop. Like
It's
that's
amazing,
just,
man. We're living in amazing times as Lions fans, man.
and we're still
Exciting.
nervous at 14-2.
Any other year, we would have locked the 1 seed weeks ago.
Oh, I know. Oh,
At
But it's like
14-2,
said,
we're
it's
still
like-
playing this music.
Yeah, I wouldn't want any other way. It's like a movie ending. Like you can't write this stuff. Exciting.
but I really like a shout out to which Joe Buck just made me irritated last night because you could tell he was San Fran. But anyway, I like the shout out to Sheila Ford last night. It just really shows you what she did. Her patience. This is the most patient Lions have ever been with this rebuild.
Yeah,
And
true.
it's all because of her. Just her little interview they replayed from 2022. Just be patient, everybody. I know it's hard, but be patient.
Yeah,
And she was right about the whole thing.
Yep. And on top of that, shout out to John Lynch. Shout out to John. You guys know what I'm talking about? Every
Yeah, I know
time
what
the
you're
camera
talking
panned to him, man,
Yeah, he was
just,
over there.
like swearing and like cussing. He was so mad up in
yeah.
his booth.
He was so-
Every time they panned at him,
Yep.
it was hilarious. I was laughing my butt off. And then
The kid-
Dick Moody, his third round
Yep.
pick, misses a kick, and he's
Dude.
The guy
That
that they
was-
glorified Purdy all last year, he was so mad at him for both those picks because they showed him for both of them. You can tell he's so mad that he threw both of those. Like, what are you doing?
yeah.
Especially that one that sailed.
Oh,
Yep.
Sailed over the receiver.
Bad.
So
Yep.
they're once again, I don't know how you guys aren't like up on your media, but they had a live audio clip of what'd you say his name was? I forget. Oh, John Lynch. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
John Lynch in his booth.
Yeah.
I downloaded it. It's right here.
For
All right,
those who
so
don't
this
know,
is-
John Lynch is the general manager of the 49ers.
Right. Ex-player, used to be a great Tampa Bay Buccaneer over his lifetime. Now he's a GM for the San Francisco 49ers. And here's what he was screaming up in his locker or up in the booth when Kirby Joseph became his father.
No. Calm down.
That dude just kept going with it. And then this was playing in the background. It was very weird. Very weird time for San Francisco. Love it.
Oh man.
All right, boys. So Sunday, I'm gonna say it right now. We're doing something. We are doing something at the annual crib. We have been, because the Packers couldn't do anything, we were supposed to have a big old party for last night's game, and
we should be live in Grand
ring in
Rapids.
the new year.
I should be
Can't
at
do that.
Caleb's house right now, still hanging out,
Right,
doing a live
right.
from.
Right. But because the Packers got shredded, so we're gonna do something. If you guys want to, let me know. Gonna do something at the house. We got to tell David. I don't know where he's at, but
Yeah.
anyway, it just stinks because it's like it starts.
It's gonna be
that
hard to
next-
watch with you guys. It's a nail biter. Like all of us are just gonna be on
Yep.
something, man.
Yep.
But no, it's gonna be a crazy game. What do you guys think of like score predictions? Like close game or
Oh yeah, astronomically close.
I think it's be 30 Detroit 31 and Minnesota 24.
Let me put
Okay.
that down.
touchdown difference?
I'm thinking it's gonna be closer. I think it's gonna be a one. I think it's going to be a 1-point game, and the field goal is going to do it at the end. So I'm going to say I think both teams are going to be able to score. So I'm going to say, shoot, let's go 34. 34-37, and I got to go. No, wait, I said a 1 score, didn't I? Or a 1 point.
Yeah.
Well,
All right. I'm thinking Lions 42, Vikings
40 burger?
38. Another 40 burger, bro. It's happening. 42-38. Lions. It's gonna be a tough one.
I can't figure out a good 1-point score. It's not working. It's not working when I write it down.
Right.
I'm gonna go 35-38. 35-38. So lock me down. What'd you say? 34. What'd you say, Adrian?
42-38. 42-38.
All right.
And another stat, I think every time we throw a 40 burger or plus, we're undefeated in those games too.
All we do is win.
And 0 turnovers too.
Exactly.
Yeah, Jared Goff, ever since that 5 interception game, Jared Goff is averaging like 130% QBR rating, like something stupid. So, anyways, that's it. Let's
Are we gonna do some game balls?
Yeah, let's do some game balls. I didn't know if you guys still wanted to do that.
I think it's a good time for it. I mean, we got some extra time on the pod now, so
That's right.
Go for it, Clay.
We're unlimited.
Who's your game ball, Clay?
I got 2 game balls, and they're going both into the same person. Kirby Joseph, man, Kirby.
Oh, nice.
He literally lit a fire under this defense yesterday in the third quarter. I think they were, like you said, it was just a shootout, and then Kirby got the interception, and after that, they missed a field goal, and then we got another interception. So I think it just really lit a fire underneath the rest of the team and just catapulted us into the victory formation.
I love it, bro. I'm gonna piggyback on you, which I never do. I try to find the most obtuse angle to come at, but the Lions lose that game without Kirby Joseph. Just simple as that.
Yeah.
So that's it.
All right. Well, I'd go on the other side of the ball. I'd give it to Jahmyr Gibbs. I was just thinking without him, our offense can't run as efficiently. You know, we were trying other stuff and we would get into these long third down situations that, you know, with Montgomery out, he has stepped up and been that single back carrying the load. So he's my game ball.
Nice. Who fumbled the game ball for you, Clay?
Usually I try to give this to we were talking about the Lions defense and how it was bad, but I'm going to give it to Jake Moody. I think between Kirby Joseph and Moody's missed field goal, it really gave us a chance to seal that game out. I think he had a missed field goal and a missed extra point, I believe, or a couple of missed field goals and an extra point.
Yeah.
So you take that 7 points off the board to us. I know we had one off the board because of ours too, but thanks, Jake.
I think who fumbled the ball was John Lynch.
I like that too. That's a good one.
That's all I gotta say.
That's all you gotta say. And I'm gonna. All right, Moody's good, bro. I really like that. I'll say Detroit's defense, just because
missed tackles, man.
Yeah. Oh, so many missed tackles and missed sacks too.
Missed sacks, just not. It's like it's that bend but don't break, but then they're still giving up. They're giving up 34 points, and I just don't know if San Francisco got up for this game. You know how teams get up.
Yeah.
What's that?
No, I was saying like they were breaking. They were bending and breaking.
Right. But it's just like San Francisco is not a good team this year, bro. They're hurt.
Yeah.
And their record shows it. And for us to go to the wire like that with a potential onside kick recovery, like I just wanted to see more. I wanted to see the defense stop a little bit more. But then at the same time, 2 picks. You know, there's that bend, but not break. Yeah. So. All right, we got the game balls, we got the fumble balls, we got the bold takes, we got the scoreboard predictions. Boys, the only thing left we have to do is mention that sweet sponsor. For all of you people in the Grand Rapids or the, should I say, Southwest area of Michigan.
A
Hit 'em
home
with-
DIY project can be riskier than going for it on 4th and 20. Save your time. Save your pride. Have an insured professional from 616 Craftworks handle that Pinterest project, furniture assembly, or home repair for you. If you live in the West Michigan area, call Ethan today at 616-540-1847. Spend more time yelling at bad calls and less time putting off that to-do list. Call Ethan at 616 Craftworks today.
All right, boys. It's been a pleasure as always. This is the All Grit Podcast. Your humble host, Caleb, Adrian, the OC, Clay, the stat guy. I don't know where the heck David is.
Next Monday's pod, man, we're going to be celebrating with some champagne, NFC North champs, number 1 seed, with the bye. We're going to have a week off to just sit back and enjoy some football. So enjoy the win this weekend, everybody. Go Lions.